Hey guys, I'm Cam Murphy. I'm a NASCAR driver, for lack of better terms. Trying to become a full-time NASCAR driver, really. But I'm from Chicago, and I started racing when I was about 10 years old. Started in these small little cars called mini cup cars, and basically just kind of climbed the ladder from there. But really, the toughest part is making it in the sport completely. Is to keep racing and essentially find the partners and sponsors to be able to keep racing. I'm here today. I'm gonna be starting this YouTube channel because I do a lot of different things, and a lot of people don't really realize what it kind of takes to get in the sport. And no one understands the back end of the sport and how you essentially get in. I know I already said that, but it's pretty true. It's really what it is. A lot of the kids today, or a lot of people coming up in the sport, their parents might be a CEO of a company or president of a company or something like that. And so, that connection comes really easy. My parents are, hardworking middle-class people, small business owners in Chicago, Illinois. And, unfortunately, we can't write that few $1 million check. So really, I kind of have to create all these connections and meet all these great people on my own and try to figure all these things out. And really, that's why I'm creating this YouTube channel. And to be honest with you, is because to follow me around and I want to share with you guys what I have to do to be able to make it in this sport. And on the other hand, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of iRacing. Not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but I use it to basically train. I can't afford to go out and test all the time at different racetracks, so iRacing's one of the best racing simulations out there. I can guarantee you that one. And I use that as much as I can on my little rig. I got steering wheel, pedals, shifter, all that good stuff. And I might use some other games, maybe project cars, maybe some dirt. Who knows? I think it's kind of interesting because I've watched a lot of people, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to see what maybe a NASCAR driver can do on there, and what kind of feedback I can give, and what feedback the game gives me. I think that'd be kind of interesting. I work at a shop called SS Greenlight Racing. It's an NASCAR Xfinity Series team, and I live in the apartment upstairs. We're not there right quite now. Get up early in the morning every day, just like I did today. Worked in the shop, get the car ready. Next race I believe is Iowa, getting ready to go there. But honestly, I do a lot of other things too. Just to be able to make ends meet. I do driver coaching and driver instruction all over the world and all over the country. Not to the world yet. Working on that. I do a lot though. I do all sorts of different things. Even when I'm back home, I work with my parents. My dad does siding, so I climb the ladders with him and work with him whenever I can. And my mom has a small little store that I work in there too. I do every little thing you can possibly think of, like working in the sewer or cleaning the bathrooms or working the register. At least that's a little cleaner, a little cleaner. But yeah, no, I do all sorts of different stuff. There's never a dull moment. I just bought a car, and I'm gonna be paying for it for the rest of my life. But anyway, I've already put roughly 10,000 miles on it, and I've only had it for 2 or 3 months. So if that shows kind of how much I've drive everywhere, I do. I've actually lived out of a hotel for the past week and a half or so, give or take, a couple days. But then I'm down here in North Carolina right now, and today is Monday, and I will be driving back to Chicago, which is about a 12-hour drive, on Wednesday. And then I believe driving out to Iowa, it's about a 4 or 5 hour drive from where I am from, in the Chicago northwestern suburbs, on like Thursday. I travel everywhere, and just to be able to do what I want to do for the rest of my life, and try to make those connections, meet the right people, and essentially just not have to not have to struggle anymore. It's tough. It's mentally and emotionally abusive, and I travel around the country to be able to do this. There's a saying, I don't remember the exact saying, but this is my version of the saying, where it's it takes 100 no's before just one yes. And unfortunately, I think I'm over that. I might be at like 200 or 300. It's tough to keep driving yourself and keep pushing yourself to do what you truly want to do, because it's not like baseball, it's not like football or basketball, anything like that, where you have that true talent and you can do it. you just have to just fight your way through. You have to go to the right schools and stuff like that, you know, and you think about how many players are there playing a basketball game or baseball game, football, whatever it might be on a weekend. How many are there, you know? And how many NASCAR drivers are there? There's roughly 90 on a given weekend, you know, maybe less. And so it's just trying to become one of those 90 in the entire world, just to be one of them. And to be able to have 2 starts under my belt, obviously I'm very fortunate for that, but, you know, to be able to continue doing it and to keep pushing yourself and have emotional highs, emotional lows. You wouldn't think it'd be this tough. You think, oh, well, what does it take to go around in circles, you know? But there's so much more to it than that. It takes all those hours, like I was mentioning, and making sure everything's right. And you know, there's so many bits and pieces that have to line up and have to come together to make it possible. And you know, having the funding to do it is a big piece. And unfortunately, I don't have that. You know, my parents aren't multi-millionaires where we can just kind of write a check for a few $1 million. You know, we can't write a check for, you know, $150,000 per race kind of thing. We just can't do that. You know, so I'm coming up from Chicago, where racing is nothing, where I'm a hillbilly, I'm a redneck, and nobody understands the true business behind the sport. And it's honestly tough, you know, and that's why I'm down in North Carolina, you know, trying to make those connections, meet the right people, and donating my time. Honestly, I have no clue what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. I know what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that's my goal. You know, it's not a dream, it's just a goal. I'm going to achieve that goal, but, you know, there's so many unknowns. It's all right, just keep chugging along. Have a positive attitude, you know. Nothing will stop me. I'll make it happen. That's for sure. I want you guys to follow along. I have the most interesting life I've ever heard of. It's honestly, it's one of a kind. It's fun. It's fun. We'll just leave it at that, right? If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. It's the way I look at things, right? So, but anyway, I want you guys to follow along. Once again, guys, don't forget to share it, like it. I'll see you guys later.